Tool Designer here. You saw in the last video, having brought some equipment in, said the first thing I was going to work on was the bandsaw to get it up and running. So got it completely tore apart, cleaned everything up, checked all the bearings, cleaned out the motor. It's a three horsepower motor. This model, it's a TrueCut from back in the 80s, still in pretty good shape. Very similar, I think the actual configuration is still made today as one of the a couple different brands. One of them's Jet, I think still offers basically this same model. Overall, still pretty good shape. There are a couple minor things that I need to work on. I got some new blades to put in when I'll probably do a quick video on swapping out the blade, and also picked up some from Olson, some of these coal blocks. The metal ones in here right now, and this is a metal guide along with one rotary bushing top and bottom. So we'll replace these, install a new blade, and give it a test cut. So we'll show that here in just a minute. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and change the blade here in the bandsaw. This blade is got quite a few teeth. I haven't measured it out to see how many teeth per inch it is. Wanted something a little bit more aggressive. So I got some different Olson blades that fit this size. I got a 1/2 inch 3 tooth per inch hook set, and I got I'm going to use it for doing some resawing work. And then I also got a 1/4 inch 6 teeth per inch, and then I have this 3/8 4 inch is what I'm going to put on. I want something a little bit more aggressive so I can get a little bit more faster cutting. I'll still hang on to this one, maybe use it for odds and ends stuff, maybe even some, maybe machine some aluminum or something with it, or it just doesn't cut as fast as I like. Of course, it's been used pretty good, so, but we're going to change the blade. We're going to take out the steel guide blocks and replace them with these coal blocks, which is basically a fiber reinforced plastic composite material. So we're going to replace those, and then to replace the bottom one to make it easier. What I'm actually going to do, you don't have to do this to change the blade, but I'm going to go ahead and take the table back off, and we'll get things set up, and we'll show setting it up. And with that, we'll go ahead and get started. I'll pop out the center guard. Go ahead and just raise this up. Take off the knobs, take off the front cover, top cover, do the same for the bottom. Bottom cover off, and of course this blade guard that goes on the side. Now the adjustment for the tensions in the back, we're just going to lower this down, take some of this tension off until we can get the blade off. Okay, pull that out from there. Turns and slides through the table, and that's basically how you take the blade off. Now I'm going to go ahead and take the table off, which you can do real quickly by doing these pivot point knobs, taking them completely off. Just lift up on it. makes it a little easier to get at the lower bearing and blade blocks. So I'll just loosen up these steel ones. We'll take them out. That one's a little tight. So those two come out. Go ahead and put in one of these cool blocks on these sides. And you don't have to do this every time you change your blade. I'm just doing it because I'm changing these blocks. It just makes it a little easier. So I'm just gonna set them all the way out until we get the blade in. Then we'll do the same for the top. Take those out. Set the cool blocks in, just to the beginning until we get the blade in. Then we can set our positions there afterwards. Now the only thing I really found that I'm potentially going to have an issue with this bandsaw, everything runs good, is the upper blade guide assembly is cast aluminum and it's cracked here. So whenever I tighten this down, it kind of flexes a little bit. So more than likely what I'm going to have to do is at some point take this assembly off, cut off this piece and maybe make a new piece and get something to make it a little bit more rigid than what it is. Okay, so with that, okay, what we're going to do is put our blade and slide it in this part of the assembly, put it over the top, and real easy. Make sure it's in the blade guide area. Set about halfway on the wheels. Okay. And then raise the tension up. Some tension on there. Now I like to see about 1/4 inch of movement here on tension. A little tighter. It's not too bad. Then check the tracking, just manually turn the wheels. Each blade runs just a tad different. I had that set for the other one. It actually seems pretty good, so I don't think I'm going to have to adjust it. Okay. Run about midway on the top. Double check our tension. Okay, need to tension it some more. Doesn't seem too bad. Let's go ahead and I'm going to plug this in real quick and just do a couple quick little starts. Make sure it's going to track okay. seems to be running pretty true. So what we're going to do is just set these cool blocks in. There's a knob here that allows me to slide the assembly back and forth so I can match the blade, because we don't want it where the teeth area is at. Just to move on me there. Okay, that's set. Bearing still, a lot of people say that you shouldn't have any contact with the bearing when the blade's turning, which is probably true, but I don't like a lot of movement. Right now it has some contact, so when the blade turns, the bearing turns, but I can turn it by hand, so there's no real pressure on that one. And same with this one. And that one doesn't turn at all. I like to just real light finger pressure till it actually looks like it's starting to turn. It still freely turns by hand. Okay. Alright, it's barely there. So then we're going to just let the blade sit where it's at. I'm going to push these cool blocks in. Now we don't want it dragging on the blade, but you want it pretty close. So what I like to do is just kind of push them in by finger until they touch on the blade without moving the blade. Give them a little tight down here, tighten down a little bit. And then as long as the blade still slides in and out from the slot, so it's not pinching on it, but it's like right there, and then there's no side-to-side movement. So we'll go ahead and finish tightening these down. And we'll do the same for the top. Make sure that that alignment isn't on the teeth, but has good coverage. Let's see, this is a pretty heavy rake, so I don't want to go too far on it. That looks pretty good right there. Just finger tight against it. Don't have to tighten on the blocks too hard. Blade still slides in and out, but not side to side. Okay, so bearings are just barely right there. In fact, let's just do this one just a little bit. Still turns with that. That way I'm not putting a lot of pressure or deflecting the blade when we go to cut, because that can change the way it walks on you. So still by hand, it's not really dragging, it's just barely touching. Blade still pulls in and out from the guide blocks. So I'd say we're pretty good right there. Let's just turn it on real quick again. Make sure we don't have anything dragging. Yeah, the bearings are spinning, but again, they're real loose still, so the bottom one's a little tight, but that bearing's not the greatest to begin with. Alright, so with that done, let's go ahead and put the table back on. This is a little bit semi-fun. So we have to kind of slide it this way first, since we installed the blade. If you didn't have to take the table off, you wouldn't have to do that part. We can get these bolts down through. Guides. And in the back is a bolt that you adjust for level, which I've already done, so that when I pivot this at an angle, I just have to push it back down again to get it on a level. Just hold that down on a level. Clamp that down. Go ahead and put our center disc in. On our blade guard. On the bottom cover. Okay, almost done. On the top cover. Tighten those down. Put it back in. We're ready to go. Get a piece of hardwood. Set the depth. Let's see how it cuts. Fairly clean cut for as coarse of a blade that is, but it ripped right through it. This is like a piece of mahogany, and I don't know if you can see it, but this is what I cut with the other blade. You can see it kind of burning, so it was hard to push through. So I'm definitely liking this new blade. It ripped right through there. Let's do it again. Thin little cut, ripped right through it. I'm definitely going to like these blades. Okay, so that's it for the bandsaw. Changing the blade and everything. All up and operational now. Doing pretty good, other than this one little issue that I have here that I'll keep an eye on. And then next we'll finish up with the table saw. Pretty much have it operational. Gonna do something with the fence. That thing is just really chintzy, not made very well. Still might have to get some new all thread or something to at least make it operational temporarily until I do something else with it. I'll probably put some extensions on it and make like a Biesemeyer type fence for it. So we'll cover that in maybe a future video. After I finish getting the table saw all done, then we'll take a quick look at that. I think the next thing that I'm going to work on getting ready is this drill press that I have here. I'm going to get the gear assembly. I'm going to kind of take it down, clean it up. I mean, it's operational. I've already used it, but I want to have it a little bit more stable and not have to piss with it very much. So we'll get on that next. If you want to stay tuned, watch each of the pieces of equipment as I get through here. Not too many more. Then we're going to start on the base for the CRP 4848 router here in the not too distant future. Just wanted to get some of this equipment ready so I could actually utilize it to help make the base. That said, if you want to stay tuned, watch what's coming up next, please subscribe. If you like anything you see, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. Thanks everyone. Thanks for watching.